Coming up on May 3rd at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, JAIME MUNGUIA will be having a highly anticipated rematch against Bruno Surace. Currently, JAIME MUNGUIA has a record of 44 wins, 2 losses, and 0 draws, with 35 of those wins coming by way of knockout, one of those losses coming by way of knockout by Bruno Surace. His height is 6 foot and his reach is 72 inches. Surace has a record of 26 wins, 0 losses, and 2 draws, with 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He has a height of 6 foot and his reach is unknown. It's probably similar to his height. Now, this fight is extremely intriguing, considering the fact that in their first encounter, Munguia was brutally knocked out by Surace in the 6th round. This was completely unexpected, and probably the most unlikely outcome one could predict in the fight. Surace, following his KO of Munguia, still has a KO percentage of 19.23%. Make sure that number sinks in. He has a KO percentage that is less than 20%. And even more intriguing is the fact that Canelo could not get rid of Munguia, and we know Canelo is a pretty big puncher. Canelo is not the hardest puncher, but Canelo's shots are always power shots, and they're always very, very accurate, similar to Gervonta Davis in that matter. Now, Canelo is obviously not as precise as Davis, but that's besides the point. So there's many question marks surrounding how Munguia could have fallen from a punch by Surace. Maybe Surace has power that is untamed and unrecognized, and he was never able to really utilize his full skill set in that matter. Or maybe, and this is something that I've heard less of, maybe Munguia has taken a lot of damage throughout his career, and especially a lot of damage in the Canelo fight. Now, Munguia wasn't really knocked out in the Canelo fight. He was hurt once when Canelo knocked him down in the 4th round with an uppercut. But during the Canelo fight, Munguia did take plenty of punishment from Canelo. And one thing I believe individuals overlook about Canelo is when a lot of fighters fight Canelo, their durability is never usually the same. They always change, and they're always more inclined to retire. This is exemplified by many of Canelo's fights, one of them being the Billy Joe Saunders fight. Now, we knew Saunders had bad habits outside the ring, but Canelo did provide Saunders with enough bodily damage that Saunders considered himself retired and simultaneously took away his confidence. Another example of Canelo's longevity in hurting his opponents is against Amir Khan. Now, Khan didn't necessarily have an iron chin, although he didn't really have a glass chin, I believe. He was just very prone to shots right on the chin. I think Khan's chin matches up to Joshua's chin in the heavyweight division. Their chins are more toward the glass jaw side, but are not glass jaws completely. They're not the best chins in the world. Canelo, I believe, is one of those individuals who has the ability to throw power punches that don't necessarily knock out the opponent, but leave a lot of damage in their career. He hits his opponent clean a lot, and he breaks them down and slowly takes away their stamina, and he has one of those styles where he may shorten their career a few years, I believe. And as much as you think that's not really a factor in fights, I do think that was a factor in Munguia. Although people speculated that Canelo was past his best in the Munguia fight, he certainly, again, hit Munguia clean on the chin many, many times. And I believe, after re-watching the Munguia fight, that Canelo was actually holding back. I believe in this current landscape, or this current phase of Canelo's career, he is holding back, but that is besides the point. So what type of power does Surace have? Will he be able to have the same timing? That is very possible. If it's very easy for Surace to learn from the first fight, to understand Munguia's style, which is very volume heavy, and to possibly end the fight much earlier than in the first fight. Munguia's defense is not going to become a gold star defense within one fight. Munguia, I believe, has taken some noticeable damage throughout his career, although that can be debated. So the question is, will Munguia not overlook Surrace, which is another factor which I think played into the first fight. Munguia was very reserved in the first fight. He was very lackluster in his defense, and it seemed like he wasn't really following a game plan, but rather just boxing and, thinking that he was going to get Surrace out of there. That was something Munguia almost did in the fight. Munguia has to recognize that he must always be switched on. And this is something that I believe if he does in the second fight against Surrace, he may win. So for my official prediction, I have Jaime Munguia winning by 8th round stoppage. This is Zachary Cloutier at Ringside.